Hey everyone, on this episode of Layovers with Captain Matty Mo, we are headed to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. On this episode of Layovers, we are taking off from Phoenix, Arizona and headed to Washington, D.C. So buckle up, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Good morning, everybody. It is bright and early here in Phoenix. I just got a call about 2 hours ago. I'm on reserve this month, so that basically means a 2-hour call out. You really don't know where you're going until you get the call. But fortunately for me, Washington, D.C. doesn't seem too bad today. 2 legs there through Nashville, and the weather looks like it'll be decent this afternoon. So stay tuned, and we'll head to our nation's capital. After a few hours of flying and a stop in Nashville, we made it to DCA, Regan International Airport in the heart of D.C. All right, everybody, we just checked into our hotel room, and as always, we've got to check out the view. I don't think it's going to be anything fantastic because we are right in the heart of what's called Crystal City, and it's where a ton of sky rises and condos are. And unfortunately, here's our view. So we can't win them all, but this is what we've got. And the good news is it's only about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was an early morning, but we got to the East Coast pretty early. So I'm gonna try and head down to our nation's capital and do a little walking around and sightseeing. So it's time for a quick change and we'll get out of here. All right, after that quick change, let's go downstairs, grab an Uber and head out. After a short drive over the Potomac River, I had my Uber driver drop me off at one of our nation's iconic landmarks. Hey everyone, how awesome is this? Right behind me is the United States Capitol building. We're in the heart of Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. I'm gonna take advantage of some of this weather, and on this episode of Layovers, we're gonna start here and walk 2.2 miles down to the Lincoln Memorial, all the way at the other end of the National Mall, past the Washington Monument, enjoy this great day and see some of the sights here in our nation's capital. So I've got my walking shoes on. It's gonna be about a 45-minute walk, so let's get going. So before we get started, here's a quick overview. We're gonna start here on the east end of the mall at the U.S. Capitol building. Then we're gonna walk down the Grass Mall and pass all the museums like the Smithsonian and National Air and Space Museum. Halfway there is the Washington Monument, and then we'll continue on to the War Memorials, the Reflecting Pool, and end up at the Lincoln Memorial. From there, we'll walk by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial and make our way north to our final stop, the Whitehouse. All right, let's get this walkabout started. As we walk across the street from the U.S. Capitol, we hit our first monument, the Ulysses S. Grant Memorial. Right in front of it is a small reflecting pool, and off in the distance is the halfway point, the Washington Monument. So this is really good for me because out of all the times I've been here to Washington, D.C., I've always started on the other end by the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and Vietnam War Memorial, and I've never actually made it all the way down to the U.S. Capitol building. So it's kind of neat to start here and head the other way. All right, we're just getting this walk started, but we're walking down the center of the National Mall. There's these great grass areas which are kind of roped off right now just for the season, I think. But there's these huge paths that you can walk and run on the entire way on either side. But anyway, right off to my right is the National Gallerie of Art. And then we'll be coming up on the Smithsonian up on the left here in just a little bit. All right, the Washington Monument's getting bigger, so that means I'm getting closer. But up to my left is one of my favorite museums, and I only had a little bit of time to run through there once, but it's the National Air and Space Museum. When I come back here and I have a little bit of time, that's definitely gonna be #1 on my list. There's so many great museums here, that, the Smithsonian, the Gallerie of Art. Check this out, if you need a snack or refreshment, there are great food trucks about 2 blocks in. All right, I can't tell if it's gonna be chilly out or warm out, but the sun's actually out and it's actually pretty nice. I don't need this jacket, but when the wind blows, it gets a little chilly. But anyway, I think we're about a half mile in to our just over 2-mile walk. Right behind me is the Smithsonian. How cool is that? And then off to my other side is the Natural Museum of History. And then we're coming up on the Museum of American History, and of course, the Washington Monument. All right behind me is the Washington Monument. It's right in the center of the National Mall. We're about halfway there. So we just passed all the museums, and now we're on to the war memorials and the reflecting pool, and then the Lincoln Memorial at the end. But what a great view is that. It's like I have the place to myself. So the first memorial we come up to is the World War II Memorial. We're actually sitting right in the center of it right now. To my left is the Pacific Tower and Monument, and to my right is the Atlantic Theater Monument and Tower. So just past the World War II Memorial, we're now walking down the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial. There's helicopters all around us. It looks like Marine One is taking somebody somewhere, but we're going to continue this walk to the Lincoln Memorial and go check that out. All right, we are almost at the end of the walk. Right behind me is the end of the reflecting pool, and right in front of me is the Lincoln Memorial. So let's head up these stairs and check it out. Right in front of the Lincoln Memorial is this great promenade. It's a great place to sit back, relax, take pictures, and enjoy the view. It's usually super crowded, so I think I got really lucky today because there's not many people here at all. Now let's head up the steps and check out the Lincoln Memorial. When you're inside, head over to the left, and on the wall you can see and read the entire Gettysburg Address given by Lincoln in 1863. As you're heading out, I definitely recommend taking a few moments to sit on the steps and look out over the reflecting pool to the east at the Washington Monument. What a view! Alright, so that's it for the National Mall, from the U.S. Capitol building to the Lincoln Memorial and everything in between. There's a little bit of daylight left. It's shining in my eye right now. So we're gonna walk about a mile this way. Guy playing the saxophone right on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. I don't know if you can hear it anymore, but it was a great walk from the Capitol building all the way to the Lincoln Memorial behind me. We're walking along the reflecting pool here. We've still got a little bit of time left in the day here. Oh, there goes a Southwest airplane. One of my bros or broettes taking off somewhere. But anyway, we're gonna head over to the White House and see if anybody's home. It's about a mile walk from here. So we're getting our steps in today, but it's definitely worth it. You can see a lot of people jogging along the path here. It's what a beautiful day. I mean, I would do this every day if I lived here. I never had the opportunity to live in D.C. here, but it seems like what a great workout if you lived in the city to come down here and run up and down the mall. It's about 2.3 miles each way, so that'd be a pretty good workout, especially if you did it round trip. Squirrel! If you come out of the Lincoln Memorial and turn left, you get to the Vietnam Memorial, which we are at right now. The Vietnam Memorial Wall displays the 58,318 names of the veterans that sacrificed their lives in the Vietnam conflict. Alright, it's time to head out north, out of the National Mall and toward the White House. But we're headed north toward the White House. It's rush hour right now, so the traffic is crazy, so I'm glad I am walking. But there's still some great monuments and buildings to see all around the downtown area. So not having spent any time living here, this is just a great city to visit and walk around. I mean, if you like architecture, you can just walk around this city for a couple days checking out all the amazing buildings. I mean, look at this building behind me. It's the Dwight D. Eisnhoward executive building, and it is really impressive. But we're almost coming up to the White House. It's up around the corner, and we should be there in probably 10 minutes or so. Here we go. We finally made it to the most famous address in the United States, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So we are right on the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue right now. Obviously, security has changed over the years, because right now we used to be able to walk down this side of the street toward the White House. We actually have to cross the street and head over to the other side. So let's go. So we are coming up to the White House, and it's an interesting time right now. I don't know if you can hear it off in the distance. We'll get a look at it, but looks like there's some sort of rally, protesters, obviously, something like that going on with a bunch of Ukrainian flags. We used to be able to cross the street and get right up near the White House, but now we have to stay completely on the other side of the street. Well, we made it to the White House. Unfortunately, I can't get very close. It's barricaded pretty well. I have to stay all the way on the other side of the street, so I can't really go up and knock on the door and see if I can head in for some hot chocolate or chocolate chip ice cream. So unfortunately, this is as close as we're gonna get today, but it was a pretty good layover. We did a lot of walking and got to see a lot of our nation's great monuments in our nation's capital. It's always a great city to get out and walk around in. Not having spent a whole lot of time here or have lived here before, I always enjoy coming here because you can walk for 2-3 hours and see some of our nation's biggest and most historic monuments. I love being here on layovers. I don't get here too often, but the weather was great and I had such a great time here. All right, that's it for our walkabout today in our nation's capital. Hope you enjoyed some of the sights as much as I did, but it's getting dark soon, and I know when the sun goes down, it's gonna get really chilly tonight. It was a great day, but I can feel the winter coming. Winter's coming. But anyway, I'm gonna start walking back and find a spot to duck inside and warm up a little bit and grab a little bite to eat, and then head back to the hotel. Like I said on my last video, always like to try to get out and eat somewhere local if I can. The hotel here doesn't have the greatest restaurant, but I'm gonna head out since I'm in the city and try to find something a little bit better than that, and I bet I can do it. All right, after walking around for a little bit, we found a great tavern and restaurant called the Hamilton. Great cozy spot, had a great atmosphere, huge restaurant inside, and then a couple different taverns and bars. But anyway, had the lump crab cakes. When you're in Washington and D.C. here, you gotta try the crab cakes. They're really good. Hit the spot, and now we're headed back to the hotel for a little bit of rest tonight. I was able to grab a quick Uber outside the restaurant, and I had one last look at the Washington Monument at night as we drove past it, and before I knew it, I was back at the hotel. There's so much to see and do in our nation's capital. I tried to touch on the highlights, but there are a couple things I missed out, like Arlington Cemetery, which I've got a couple bros that have been laid to rest there, but I'm gonna try and hit that next time. But now it's time to head up to the room, get some rest, and get ready for tomorrow. All right, good morning. That's a wrap on Washington, D.C. It's bright and early here, but the sun's rising. It's a little chilly, but we are headed out of town here on to our next destination. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching this episode of American Travel Family Layovers. Don't forget to check out our other videos on YouTube and our website at americantravelfamily.com.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more American Travel Family adventures.